We begin today's program. We're pleased to be joined out in California by Congresswoman Lynn Woolsey, a Democrat from California. And today marks the one-year anniversary of the tragedy in the Gulf of Mexico. And we wanted to get your take on what has changed and what hasn't in the past year. Have we made any great strides, in your opinion, in terms of safety, in terms of oversight that can ensure that we won't have another disaster like this again?
Well, first of all, happy birthday to John. Second of all, no, absolutely not. I mean, it's a year later. We are exactly where we were, other than the public understands more clearly how reckless and what the negligence was that got us there. But are we preventing it? Do we have better programs in place for mitigation and cleanup? No, we don't. But we could. I have legislation that would make that more possible.
I think it would surprise a lot of people to realize that since that spill a year ago, that Congress has done exactly how many bills related to the issue of oil safety, oil spill prevention? How many bills have passed?
Well, one passed the House of Representatives. That was mine. Did not even get considered in the Senate.
So the answer is
it
zero.
Passed unanimously.
Yeah.
Zero.
Right. It's pretty amazing. What's your sense on the big question of how bad it was? I mean, at the time we thought this was absolutely catastrophic, was going to change the Gulf Coast for lifetimes. There's a sense that it didn't end up being as bad as we thought. But what do we know? Do we know the long-term impact, really?
No, we don't, and that's the thing. We don't know what the long-term impact of the mitigation steps will be. That's why we need better research and development for oil spills, and one, to prevent them in the first place, and to know what we're doing when we get to the cleanup stages. It's very complicated. There's right now 14 agencies that weigh in, and who's the boss, who's in control, who's the head of this, who's the head of that. And my legislation would clarify that and put 4 agencies with the Coast Guard in control.
Let's talk about some other areas of energy policy. Specifically, we saw in our latest poll, people don't want new nuclear power plants in the wake of the Japan incident. They don't want more oil drilling. Where do we get from here to there in terms of energy independence if we're taking these big things off the table? Have we moved backwards really in the past year in terms of energy sources?
Well, maybe we should, if we could walk backwards and start many years ago getting ready for alternative energy sources with incentives and with R&D in our country and green technology. But we talk about it and we don't do it. But we must, and that's what we have to have. We have to have alternative energies. We have to have conservation. People are willing to do it. They want to. They need their federal government to lead.
That's certainly not going to help people with higher gas prices this summer, though, huh?
No, I don't think so. But I think higher gas prices this summer just prove once again how dependent we are on fossil fuels and how we actually shouldn't be drilling for oils anywhere on our beautiful waters. But as long as we're going to, we need to make sure that we do it safely and we take care of the employees as well as our environment and our economy.
Now, Congresswoman, you were back in your district, as are all members of Congress, for this break right now, and it came right after the vote on the Paul Ryan budget approved by almost all the Republicans in the House of Representatives. What was your view on that, and do you share the view that some have had that this is going to be a major backlash against Republicans? What is that vote going to mean in 2012 for Republicans?
Well, if they overstep like they have and even start fooling around with Medicare and privatizing it and insisting that seniors have to depend on insurance companies for their Medicare coverage. Can you imagine every senior having to go out and negotiate an insurance coverage with a private insurance provider? I mean, the premiums will go up, the waivers, the vouchers will be worth less and less and less, and seniors going to be just left hanging out there to dry. And we can't let that happen. Seniors are not going to let that happen. And people who are depending on Medicare because of other needs in their families and in their lives, they will not let it happen either. But
okay,
particularly
but
seniors. And seniors vote. They're going to tell the Republicans, this isn't what we thought you were telling us, although they should have listened. And seniors need to look at how Republicans have treated them over the years.
Very quickly, we only have a few seconds left, but the president himself opened the door to Medicare cuts. The Gang of Six, so-called in the Senate, Democrats and Republicans are working on a plan that will almost certainly cut into entitlements. What's your message to them?
My message to them is, don't fool around with something that already works. I mean, if we have to do anything, make people like myself pay the whole year for my Medicare. Don't stop raise the ceiling. We're the people that should be carrying the burden in fixing Medicare.
All right, Congresswoman Lynn Woolsey, Democrat of California. We look forward to seeing you back here in Washington. Thanks for coming here on Top Line today. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.